It worked. Success. All right. I think we've got everyone. It's like the right crew. Awesome. Anna, thanks for being here. And thanks to all of you for joining as well. I see some familiar faces and many new ones as well. I know we only have a short period of time, so we're going to violate social protocol and skip introductions. The most important guest of honor here is Anna, who's going to join, is a grant recipient and is going to walk us through a little bit of her background and story. Anna and I, just before we dive into it, this is really exciting to finally put a face with the name. I had a chance to review Anna's grant. Was it a year ago, Anna? How long has it been? Remind me.
Just about, yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, and I remember being so inspired with your story and the lifestyle that you're living, and so here we are. Greg Durso from KBF was kind enough to match us up, and so to what Edie mentioned, it certainly holds true. We are hopeful that all of you will dive in and ask questions and engage. If you don't, I've got a bunch of questions for Anna, so just interrupt me. No points for politeness here. But Anna, let's just start with, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're dialing in from. Tell us about you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Sarol. I am 20 years old. I'm from Lenexa, Kansas. I'm a survivor of the spinal cord injury, and I'm so excited to have a conversation with you all. I want to let you guys know that I'm an open book. You can ask me anything, and I am so sure that I can give you such a good answer with all that I'm doing. And I'm so grateful to be here.
So Anna, to kick it off, and we're grateful that you're here. Tell us about your relationship with sports and recreation kind of before your injury. And then if you're okay with it, we'd love to learn more, about your injury as well.
Yeah, I'd love to share it. So in August 2015, I was on practice. I have been a competitive gymnast for 8 years. I devoted so much time into my sport. I was so dedicated for this passion. I practiced 5 times a week, 4 hours a day. I was constantly at the gym, and I spent a lot of my childhood there. I skip out on parties and family gatherings just so that I could make ends meet with my sport and my passion. On August 2015, I endured a spinal cord injury. I was in practice in gymnastics. It was a normal practice, a normal day. I rotated to my second event, which was the uneven bars. I performed my normal warm-up routine. I chalked up, did my low bar routine, and then jumped to the high bar. I was preparing for the dismount, and that day I noticed that I had a lot more power than usual. And seconds later, my hands peeled off the bars, and I landed on my back, instantly paralyzing me from my vertebrae. My injury is at vertebrae T10. So everything below the waist, I have no sensation or function. And ever since then, I've just been living an active lifestyle. And I think this is something that's very important into my life. I've always been an athlete, and I've always been and had that goal-driven personality. So for me to continue that after my injury, and now that I was told that I'm going to be paralyzed, how a lot of the questions came to where was the adaptive sports programs that I can get involved in. I think that a lot of people who endure this injury early on, they don't understand that there's programs that have been designed to help them succeed and get back into these sports related experiences. And now if I take you back, or if I take you to where I am now in the present, I'm a coach for the gymnastics team that I was a gymnast for, actually. And I am so thankful and grateful that I am in a place where I can coach the sport that I loved and that I was injured through. I am in a good place in my heart, and I have just been dipping my feet into any adaptive sports I can get involved with. So I've been introduced to wheelchair basketball, adaptive tennis, monoskiing on snow and water. And then now my most recent sport that I'm getting into and being involved with is adaptive CrossFit. I'm a CrossFit athlete for a disabled organization, or for a disabled organization, for a nonprofit organization called Disabled But Not Really. They are run and owned by another paraplegic like myself. His name's Wesley Hamilton. And right now I'm training with him. He's teaching me a bunch of ways to adapt to my workouts. I'm training with him 3 times a week. And it's been an awesome experience, just so I can get that kind of mentor who knows what it's like to be in my feet. Like, there's a lot of ways that he has adapted my workouts to where I didn't know that it could be adapted in that way. But yeah, and that's kind of what I've been involved with. I'm also a full-time college student, so I've been doing school my entire life. I haven't had a semester off yet. I'm going to psychology, and I cannot wait to just get my feet into that as well, to help people through their emotional states that are enduring those kind of hardships. And that's a little bit about me, but yeah.
I'll speak for everyone. I'm comfortable doing that you're taking active to like the nth degree. I mean, unbelievable. All the things that you've experienced, and tell me about, I mean, you're obviously so positive and energetic. I feel lazy listening to what you just described. Like, what was that journey like? I mean, you obviously dove right in, it seems like, but like, what was the hardest part of it? I mean, was it finding access to these other programs that you just described? Was it integrating back into family or social? Like, walk us through a little bit more about, some of the challenges you faced.
Yeah, by all means, I do not want to overlook that there was hardships that were in the beginning. This positive smile and personality that I display wasn't always there. It was hard because my entire being relied on my legs. I was a gymnast. I aspired to be an Olympian. I was on track to hit my Olympic goal. I also wanted to be a nurse, and that is still possible. Thankfully, a lot of people who are wheelchair users have showed me that. But it was hard to make that transition from relying so much on your legs and lower extremities to now being a full-time wheelchair user. A lot of hardship came with the emotional aspect of it. And I think that also relates to why I have this passion to be a psychologist and to have that kind of career path going into. But a lot of what I had to do, which was the hardest for me, is to practice self-love. Self-love is something that we don't practice a lot. And I know that a lot of people don't do it enough. This was something that I knew that I had to adventure with in order to get to the place that I wanted to be, in order for me to continue forward with the life that I wanted and all the drives that I still had within me. But yeah, there was a lot of like that hardships that came with it. What are some other things? Family was a big thing. I am 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5. I have 4 older siblings. So they all, right after my injury, instantly became like my parents. So I had all 4 of my siblings as well as my parents who were beside me. And I grew up as in a Filipino household. So we were very family oriented as a collectivist culture. I think the thing that we don't understand or we don't realize sometimes is that we're not the only ones who are going through this injury, that there are other people alongside of us who have to watch our like us hit rock bottom and try to get back up from there. They've just been a huge part of me just being this positive self that I continue to show today. And this journey is exactly that. It's been a journey. Nothing was in arm's reach. I had to work for everything. And I just love being able to display that. I'm also a substitute teacher. So being able to communicate to little ones that this life isn't just like someone who's just hindered away and that stays in their bedroom talking about like how much their life sucks. I feel like in order for us to make change for future generations, we have to start with our children because they're the ones that are going to be leading us to our future. And so being able to give them that perspective of me being in a wheelchair and being okay with it and still getting that kind of success after it is very important and something that I push forward to.
Awesome. Tell us, Anna, about your KBF equipment, and tell us about the impact it's had.
Yeah, so I applied for the active fund for KBF, and the equipment that I applied for was an off-road hand cycle bike. The thing about nature is that in wheelchair users is that our wheels aren't necessarily designed for all surfaces. So we are often trying to find the easier route for our wheels and everything. So the thing about this hand cycle bike is that it's off-road. It gives us that adrenaline piece back and that freedom to be able to go anywhere we want. And I can't even explain to you the impact that the Kelly Brush Foundation has done for me. The beautiful thing about KBF is that they are allowing people who are like me, who were athletes before, who were adrenaline junkies prior to their injuries, for their inner athlete to live on. The thing about like a spinal cord injury is that these aren't predicted. There's no foreshadow that told us, hey, this is going to be the last couple of minutes that your body is going to be fully abled. My gymnastics career didn't end the way that I expected it to end. There was still unfulfilled goals that I didn't get to check off my list. And I didn't get to say goodbye to the sport the way I wanted to. And that was hard. That took a toll on me. I didn't have that last competition for me to give it all. There was no proper closure. And because of that, I know that there is this gymnast inside me that didn't die that day that I fell. She just needed this chance to thrive again. And the Kelly Brush Foundation is doing exactly that.
No.